Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, my name is Chris and I'm a doctor based in the UK. So lately I have received a few requests about how I prepared for MRCP, specifically the written exams at part 1 and 2. Just a brief introduction about myself. I passed my MRCP, the latest one being PACES, early last year just before lockdown happened. And so I thought of sharing some of the things I did when preparing for MRCP written exams. So the main take-home message is that preparation is key. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. MRCP isn't just a minor exam that you can sit without much preparation. It costs over £400 to sit, and you only have 4 diets in which you can register each year. Also, candidates are only permitted a maximum of 6 attempts for each part. After 6 attempts, you will need to submit a request for further tries in the MRCP. According to the official MRCP website, you will need to show evidence that you have obtained further educational experience with the support of your educational supervisor. Also, once you pass your MRCP Part 1, you have 7 years in which you need to pass both Part 2 and PACES. If not, you will have to resit Part 1 before attempting the rest of the MRCP. So make sure that you do your own research before attempting MRCP. I would advise you to look at the official MRCP website because it contains vital information regarding the format of both Part 1 and 2. For Part 1 and 2, they are both written exams lasting a day each. For each part, you have 2 written papers, each lasting 3 hours. Each paper contains 100 multiple choice questions from a range of various medical specialties. The website also tells you roughly the number of questions allocated to each medical specialty. This means you can tailor your revision plan to allocate more time for more major specialties such as cardiology, endocrinology, and gastroenterology. I would advise you to first plan things out before you start revising. For me, I give myself a few months to prepare before the actual exam itself. And you can use things like Google Sheets or Word document to create some sort of time schedule for you to revise and do questions. Be flexible in your schedule as you are most likely to be working and studying at the same time. You should be allocating time for you to revise and also do questions in question banks. Things unfortunately often crop up last minute, and please don't beat yourself up if you feel like you are struggling to get on top of your schedule or if you feel that you are falling behind your own schedule. What I do in my own schedule is that I usually set myself a target of 30 questions a day and would aim to finish one specialty before moving on to the next. In the last lab, probably around a month before the actual exam, I would then do questions, random questions from various specialties, as well as attempt doing mock papers so as to get a feel and flavor of the actual paper itself. Now, people have different studying techniques and you need to find one that suits you best. As for myself, I realized that rereading and rewriting notes down is a complete waste of time and does little in helping me remember important concepts. I strongly advocate to subscribing an online question banks. Now, there are many online question banks out there in the market, but the top 3 ones that I would advocate for include Pass Test, Pass Medicine, as well as On Examination. The way questions work is that they force you to remember the things that you do know, and by answering questions, they make you realize the things that you don't know and what you need to find out in order to better understand the important concepts. This will definitely make you remember key concepts far better than reading a textbook, and it's so time efficient. Doing questions also make you aware of the type of questions examiners like to ask. And so I would highly recommend you to start doing questions and forget about reading textbooks and other resources. It doesn't really matter which online question bank you go for, because from my experience, I know of people who have passed MRCP by using either of the 3 question banks that I've mentioned. Pass Test has its own advantages. It has the largest question banks out of all question banks online. It also has past year papers as well. However, it is costly and sometimes the explanations may not be as detailed as other websites. If you like more detailed explanations around the questions, Pass Medicine would be something that you want to consider as it has a more lengthy explanation. For me, I use both Pass Test and Pass Medicine as I felt that they complemented each other and I got a wider range of questions that I could practice on. So what I did was I went straight into practicing question banks without even reading any textbooks or online resources. I feel that there is really no point in buying and reading textbooks, as a lot of information you can get just by doing questions in the question banks. Also, by the time that textbooks are written and published, there are new guidelines and information out online, and so the information in textbooks may be slightly outdated. After doing questions and reading through the explanations, I would then make my own notes by using Anki and OneNote. I don't like writing notes down on paper because it can take up a lot of time, and in the process, paper notes can get lost as well. What I usually do is I would copy and paste important explanations into both Anki and OneNote. OneNote is great because you can basically copy and paste the explanations underneath the questions in OneNote. You can divide the notes into different sections based on the medical specialties that the information is in. And in each section you get pages as well, which makes OneNote very organized to work with. Also with OneNote, it is great as the information in OneNote can be synced with your mobile and tablet devices, which means you can search for information whenever and wherever you are. The search function in OneNote is also great. You can literally search for anything by typing in keywords in the search box. The search function also works on words in images as well. This definitely beats trying to find information in massive piles of handwritten notes. Also, by writing notes in OneNote, you can always update it very quickly and efficiently whenever you want. You can delete old notes and add new information just by a click of a button. You can even add images, screenshots, as well as print out from PowerPoint slides and PDF files. I basically used OneNote as my second brain to store important information that I want to remember, and sometimes with information you may forget after some time. So with OneNote, I can always go back to the application and search for the concepts that I want to remember. So the second program is Anki. So this is basically a free program that makes flashcards in order to help you remember things easily. It is user-friendly and also syncs with your mobile and tablet devices, which means you can look at flashcards on the go. What I did was I used Anki to make flashcards for MRCP, especially difficult concepts that I just couldn't really remember or grasp. Anki has a built-in algorithm that usually shows the new cards or cards that you have answered wrongly. By using flashcards, you are actively engaging your brain to remember key concepts that you wish yourself to remember, and this is called active recall. And by doing it over a period of time, you are going to remember things better using spaced repetition. If you are interested in how I use Anki and OneNote in my revision, please drop me a comment down below and I can walk you through how I use these two programs. So lastly, it is important to keep your mental health in check. I think oftentimes people may neglect their physical and personal well-being whilst preparing for MRCP and at the same time working. It can be overwhelming when you are trying to do so many things at the same time. I just want to let you know that you are not alone in this. It is okay to stumble and fall. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay if you feel that you are not getting on top of things and that you are falling behind your planned schedule. Everyone, including myself, feels the same way when preparing for MRCP, and so you are absolutely not alone in this. I think what helped me during that time was the support I got from my family and friends around. So I will encourage you to continue to make time to do something outside work and medicine. Do something that makes you feel good, to help you relax whilst at the same time preparing for this major exam. At the same time, if you know of any like-minded individuals who are also preparing for MRCP, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you come together to form a small study group. You can go through questions together, and sometimes it can be quite fun and enlightening by discussing questions with each other. You'll be surprised by the amount of information you will learn just simply discussing with your friends. Preparing for examinations is certainly not an isolated thing. So there you have it, my tips and advice when it comes to preparing MRCP Part 1 and 2. I hope you like this video, and please like, share and subscribe if you find this useful. Please also drop a comment down below if you would like further videos on MRCP or any other video that you would want me to make. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.